Hello, I'm Steve Fainer. I work as the youth director of the Presbyterian Church of Los Gatos. As with just about every project in college or graduate school, I have a hard time following directions. So when I read about something in your community that builds community, I think of the congregation that worships in this space, and I think of the students that I serve. But if there's one aspect of community that really builds community here for us, it's the week that we spend every April outside Tijuana, Mexico, where we get to serve our brothers and sisters in Christ in Mexico by building homes. We get to serve each other, and we have a great time doing it. So this project is about that Mexico trip. This shed behind me was built several years ago to demonstrate to our congregation what they had learned in Mexico. It's half the size of a house we'd typically build. Now that may seem tiny to you, but to a family living in a one-room plywood shack, 200, 300 square feet of weatherproof home with a concrete slab is a huge difference. We don't completely finish the home, we leave it for families to customize on their own. I've been back to a job site within an hour of our group's departure, and they'd already had electricity wired in and beds in the house. Families move in right away, and we are so grateful that we have the opportunity to serve. Here in half of our youth room, you can see the plans are already beginning for our trip to Mexico. In fact, we're less than 2 weeks away from leaving. This is some of our gear that we just brought down from our attic last night. It's dusty, it needs to be cleaned, and we're going to do that together on Sunday. Every army lives on its stomach. And with over 30 people, most of them teenagers, going on the trip this year, we need a lot of food. This, behind me, is just the first shopping run. I invite you now to take a look around this website, learn more about our Mexico trip through the slideshow about our building process, through the morning CD, audio, through investigating the prayer book we'll be using this year. And I'm leaving you now with some scenes from last year's mission trip set to a song I wrote for a mission trip several years back. Enjoy, and thank you for watching.
Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Commandment in the law. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second, well, the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. 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 All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Commandment in the law. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This greatest commandment. And the second, well, the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself.
So where are we on the Advil from?